It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You're somewhere over the Red Sea, strapped to $100 million of fighter jet, flying through complete darkness at 1,000 miles an hour, with guided bombs hanging under each wing. Somewhere ahead of you, about 1,600 miles from where you took off, is Yemen and your target. It is January 2024. The Houthis, an Iranian-backed militia, have been launching drones and missiles at commercial shipping in the Red Sea for weeks. 15% of the world's maritime trade passes through this stretch of water, and they're trying to shut it down. Tonight, you and 3 other RAF Typhoons launched from RAF Akrotiri in Cyprus will stop them. Somewhere over the Red Sea, you rendezvous with a Voyager tanker, 2 aircraft at a time, pulling alongside in total darkness, connecting to the refueling probe, taking on fuel for the bombing run. Then, you split into pairs. Each pair has a target. You have a drone storage facility. As you approach, the targeting pod on the nose of your aircraft feeds you high-resolution imagery of the ground below. The moment the target appears in your display, you press fire. At 2:45 in the morning, the bombs leave the aircraft. You're already turning away before they hit. You don't stay to watch the explosion. You're already thinking about the flight home. This is the real-life Top Gun. You have over 1,500 hours in fast jets, which in this world makes you the new kid. Most of your day is not in the cockpit. You spend 3 to 4 hours on the ground for every hour in the air, going over what worked and what nearly killed someone, and making sure it doesn't happen again. Today is a training sortie, a 4v4 exercise over the North Sea, 4 Typhoons against 4 others. Your lead. The plan is yours. The brief takes an hour. Then, you can finally get to your jet. The Typhoon is enormous up close, bigger than photographs suggest, canards at the nose twitching constantly, dozens of times per second. A computer keeping the aircraft stable because the Typhoon is aerodynamically unstable by design. $100 million of jet. Just another Tuesday. Full afterburner takeoff in a Typhoon isn't like anything else. The jet doesn't accelerate like a car. It doesn't even accelerate like a roller coaster. It's more like an explosion that just happens to have a runway under it. 0 to 200 miles per hour in under 10 seconds. You're airborne before you've used half of the runway. The nose pitches up and your base shrinks to a gray rectangle in a green landscape in about 4 seconds. And then there's just you and the sky. 9 is the number that defines everything about flying a fast jet. 9 times the force of gravity, the maximum you'll pull in a hard turn. You weigh 80 kilos. At 9G, you weigh 720. At 4G, most untrained people lose consciousness. The heart simply cannot pump blood upward to the brain fast enough. Vision grays at the edges, narrows to a tunnel, then nothing. Fighter pilots call it G-lock. G-induced loss of consciousness. Your gaze fixes, your eyes roll back, your muscles collapse. You can be out for up to 30 seconds, completely incapacitated, sometimes dreaming, during which nobody is flying the plane. To even qualify for this aircraft, you had to hold 9G for 15 continuous seconds in a centrifuge. It's never comfortable. It's barely survivable. The 4v4 kicks off over the North Sea, beyond visual range at first, radar and missiles, geometry at closing speeds of over 1,000 miles per hour. You call the intercept. 2 enemy aircraft go down. Simulated kills logged by the exercise system. The other 2 survive. Now it goes visual. This is where it gets physical. A hard turn at this speed covers a radius of nearly 2 kilometers. You can't spin on the spot. Every move is a calculation executed in fractions of a second. Where will he be in 6 seconds? Where will your missile be in 8? Where is the sun? Where is the ground? How much fuel? Is that radar warning real or a decoy? Maths will keep you alive. Controlling the aircraft is the easy part. It's everything happening simultaneously in your head that separates a good pilot from a dead one. You pull 7G through a rolling scissors. Vision tunnels. It clears. You're behind your opponent. You call the kill. 60 seconds of that and you're more physically tired than after an hour in the gym. It's March 2026. Iran has just launched the largest drone and missile attack in the history of the Middle East. Over 300 drones and ballistic missiles, all of them heading toward Israel. You're already airborne. Your Typhoon is loaded for air-to-air. You're not dropping bombs tonight. Tonight you are the last line of defense. The radar picture is unlike anything in training. Dozens of contacts, slow-moving, These are one-way attack drones, built to fly until they hit something and explode. They don't maneuver. They don't evade. They just keep coming. Makes it sound easy. It's not. The drones are small. Their radar cross-section, the signal they return to your instruments, is tiny. At night, against a dark sky, they're almost invisible, and there are hundreds of them. You pick your first target. The missile streaks away into the darkness. The contact disappears from your screen. You're already acquiring the next one. In the space of that single night, you down multiple Iranian drones over the region. 6 confirmed air-to-air kills in total across recent operations. Each one logged, debriefed, written up the next morning over cold coffee. You land at base as the sun comes up. You count your missiles. You write the debrief. Somewhere over Israel, the air defense batteries are still active. The threat isn't over. It's just not your watch anymore. Every time you climb into your jet, you're aware of something you hope never to use. The ejection seat. It fires you clear of a crashing aircraft with a force 20 times greater than gravity. About 10% of those who eject die. Around 30% end up with spinal damage or severe injuries. And one day, somewhere over hostile territory, on a mission that started like every other mission, a warning light comes on that shouldn't. Then another. The aircraft is still flying, but something is wrong in a way that alarms you. Not a number on a gauge, but a feeling. The aircraft telling you something through the controls, through the way it responds when you push it. You run the emergency checklist. You've done this in the simulator hundreds of times, but this isn't the simulator. One pilot described this moment like this. You know the aircraft is going to hit the ground. The question then becomes, are you going to be in it? You stop trying to fix it. You shift entirely into getting ready to eject. You stow the classified materials in your flight suit. You disable the systems. Check the handle. The aircraft is losing altitude. Below you, enemy territory. You tighten your straps. Rear your head. Feet back on the rests. You pull the handle. The seat fires. The wind blast hits you like nothing you have ever felt. Chaos imparted on every part of your body simultaneously. The parachute deploys. The noise stops. And then there's silence as you drift down through dark air.